Yes, we are praying for you. We're joining Talaka to pray for you this morning that money will call you from the north, from the south, from the east, and from the west. If you believe, shout a big amen. All right, if you're just joining us, welcome to the show. This is the Tea Break. My name is 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐲, and I have a guest with me in the studio on Naija People in Business. Let me just tell you a bit about who my guest is this morning. So, my guest is a professional food photographer, a social entrepreneur, a farmer, and a co-founder of I Am Mindful Africa, which is a project that is decoded to helping people, especially the younger generation, discover their true potentials. He is passionate about teenagers and young adults, and he wants to champion the cause of the youth with a view to raising a new crop of distinguished leaders who will affect their generation publicly. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome the one and the only Tola Odumosu. Welcome to the show.
All right.
Welcome. All right, so you are a social entrepreneur, you're a farmer, you are doing so many different things. So I think we can call you a serial entrepreneur. So where you see business, your head just goes there. But let's tell us, how did that start for you? Because there's some people that would say, oh, I saw one business and I just want to focus on that. So where did you get your business mind from? Where did it all start from?
Okay. That's a very good question. And sincerely, I've always been a business person. I've always known I'm going to be a business person. So 9 to 5 is never my thing. Even while growing up. So the passion has always been there to make money. So going to school, I still see myself making money. So the concentration of studying was just divided by making money, and I just have a lot of things to do. So which I'm not even done yet. So still on my way.
Still on your way.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk about Food Culture Media, which is, a digital company, and you are a food photographer.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is food photography? Because I know there's someone who is listening and saying, which one is food photography again? Should be to carry picture, carry camera and snap. So what is food photography?
Okay. Majorly you will call the contents that you can say detail photography. So from detail photography, you have people who do architectural, you have people who do landscape, and then my own part which I choose is actually food photography. So and again, I love food so much, so that's so I started with my phone, just trying to experiment at home. Then I found a passion, and I found out I was doing it so well. Especially when you use iPhone, you understand. So it gives you some feels,
nice shots.
Yeah, and I was enjoying it, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I really don't want to be like every other person where we carry a camera every weekend to go to one party to the other. I just want something that would differentiate me from the rest. And that was just it. And I started working on that.
And how has that journey been? Because like I said, I think you're the first food photography I know. It was when I met you, I knew that there was something called food photography. Because I if you remember, when you say you're into food, I even thought that maybe you are into catering or so. I know, like, no, I'm into food photography. So how has it been? How has the response been?
Okay, from the start, it wasn't really easy, because Nigerians were still kind of at the back when it comes to creativity and content creation. So
why do you say at the back? That's who that we call your name.
No, sincerely, when it comes to content, I will still say it over and over again, because it was a really tough one for me.
Okay.
Trying to approach a different restaurant. Okay, you know what? You can have it this way. You can have it this way. And everybody will just tell you have an iPhone. So why do I need to employ you? So why do we need you?
My phone has a good camera. Why do I need you?
Yeah, exactly. So it was difficult trying to convince people that, okay, this can be done professionally, where you have a very good high resolution picture that can last you for the rest of your business, and it will never fade, because when it's quality, of course, anywhere you put it, it sells, and people need to see a good image so that they can imagine the kind of food that
they want to eat.
Exactly. So I keep selling myself. I never get tired. even from the beginning, to be sincere with you, money was not coming in. I was even interning with one of the big chefs in Lagos. Let me say in Nigeria, kind of. And I was there for more than, let's say, 6 months to 7 months without payment. And even my friend would tell me that, what are you doing there, guy? You're not being paid and you're there. But I was learning because beyond food photography, you need to understand the culinary part of the food industry. So it's not just you taking the picture. You must know, I do food styling now. I do food styling and then food photography.
Sorry, okay, so we've been able to paint a picture of food photography and what that is. What exactly is food styling?
Food styling is where you have to, it's people who are chef will understand, plating. There's a way food needs to look, where you had all your ingredients, to design it to make it look good. Or maybe crops you need to put at the background, things you need to put, to make it appealing to people who are viewing it. So that food styling.
So what I'm getting from this is people. So it's not necessarily that all the time the pictures we see are just gotten from the internet, right? So they are, because annoyingly, right? You go to some places, right? Some places where you can get food, and you tell them, "I want what is on your what's on your poster outside," and they say they don't have it. But what you're telling me now is, with your experience in food photography and also knowing a few culinary tricks, you're able to tell people that what you see is what you're going to get.
Yes, but not all restaurants.
Not all restaurants. Yes. Okay, yeah. Not all restaurants. Yeah. What do you mean? Walk us through that.
Some restaurant, if you in Street of Lagos now, especially maybe on the island, 𝐕𝐈, you have some restaurant that are on the eye list. They whatever they show you is what you get.
Premium. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So I work more with those kind of restaurant because the small startup restaurant can't really afford some payment, and then they might not be able to give you what they want to show. So those are the ones you will see go on the internet, just take some pictures,
copy and paste,
put it on, and then you get there, you're asking, sorry, do you have this? And what they're bringing out is something else.
Oh God! Yeah. No, okay. So what are some of the challenges? I mean, you've already mentioned one, which is at the beginning, funds were not forthcoming. So how are you able to? And so so my question is in two parts. Number one, what are some other challenges you faced setting out as a food photographer and a food stylist, and then what is the how were you able to overcome these challenges?
Well, firstly, determination. I was actually determined because I want to make a difference. So, and I'm a go-getter. I don't give up until I'm done with what I'm doing. So the challenges keep coming, but I just keep focused on what I want to achieve. So there was no point in me failing. I know I can't fail on this because I know Nigeria will get to a stage where content creation, all those things will make sense.
Yes.
So, and I want to be the pioneer. I want to be among the people will say, oh, he started this, even when money was not really involved. So, but of course, when I started till now, it's been better because I've done some gigs that even they're mind blowing. Bigger organization, food industry. So I've done a lot of jobs that now looking back is like, thank God I did not give up.
You did not give up.
Yeah.
So determination. So let's talk about inspiration for how you shoot and how you're able to. So a client comes to you and says, I don't even know the conversation that goes on, but I'm guessing the client says, okay, I want to showcase my meals, right? Okay. I want to do a shoot for my meals to say, okay, this is what I have. How does that whole process work?
Okay. When a client comes in, we discuss what they want to do. Then there must be a mood board. A mood board is just going to show us, okay, what do you have in your idea of what you expect?
What are you thinking about?
What are you thinking of? So when I have that, so I look at the product. Let's assume maybe someone wants to do like a burger, kind of. So I go online. So I go online, check other people's work, to see the idea of the things they use, how it needs to be. So from there, I develop my own plan, then I have to like do like a drawing, just have it down. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, I'm doing 3 look. I'm doing one from the top, one from the side, and then I have to do like a rear picture of the whole table or maybe the setup. So once the inspiration comes, then I discuss with my client. Okay, this is what we are having. Okay, the client looks at it normal and then like, okay, it's okay. Then that's how we move on. So I do the first to second shoot. Then I show, if my client is around, I show it to them. Or maybe I send to them. Okay, what do you think about this? So if they are okay with it, then we go on.
So you're always looking for feedback. You're always
definitely that's how you grow. Because if you don't want people to criticize what you do, then you're not ready to move to the next level. So when they criticize and say something like, okay, I don't like this, or this is too much, then I know I need to adjust things until we get it right, because I like things looking perfect.
Okay. What are your thoughts on, because I like that you mentioned you like feedback helps you grow, but what are your thoughts on difference of opinion with your client? So your client says, okay, I want to do, for instance, because I love burgers. Let's talk about the burgers, right? And then say, okay, I want to show this burger and, maybe the chips, right? And then you already have an idea based on like experience of, how you've done it for, I mean, how many years have you been in this?
I've been in this for 7 years.
Okay, 7. Wow.
Almost a decade.
So you've been in this for 7 years, you've seen a lot, you've shot a lot. So based on your experience, you say, okay, I think this would be a good way to go. And then the client is like, no, I want it like this, I want it like this, I want it like this. But sometimes what the client is suggesting might not really bring out the best. So how do you settle that difference of opinion?
Okay. Apart from shooting for the client, what I do most is that I'll shoot what you want and I'll do mine. Because I have some I'm going to put up on my own page or put on my profile.
Okay.
Of course, and I will not want to show your product, your name or something. So I'll create something different for myself. So I will do mine, I will do your own. So at the end of the day, when we're doing the preview, and then you're seeing my own, and you're like, okay, you know what? I think I like this, and I'm like, but you said you want it this way. Of course, I know it. Like,
I love it. So you do your own, and then you do their own.
Definitely. I have enough time.
And then that's beautifully petty. It's beautifully petty. Do your own, then do their own. And at the end of the day, you not say, actually, is this your own?
The thing is that food are easily to dry up immediately. If you don't shoot on time, they dry up and they might not want to cook again, or maybe want to start all over the whole processing. So instead of wasting that moment, I took my time to do all the necessary things. So I don't know how to shoot just 3 pictures. I can start pressing my camera because it's on a continuous distance. It just keeps snapping. So at the end of the day, I want to do just let's say 5 to 6 pictures. And I end up having over 500.
500 that you have to choose from.
That I have to choose from.
How do you do that? Because I don't know if you do that thing. I don't know. Maybe people will tell, but I don't know how you people do it. You will snap like 500 pictures.
That's the work.
And you have to come out with like 6.
I'm telling you.
How?
That is where the work is. The work is not snapping. Snapping is easy.
Of course, everybody can snap.
Snap correctly. So now, for you to not get the one that suits what you're looking at is not what others are looking at. You want something different, because how I look at pictures now is different. So that's why one of my clients will say that you just have the eye for it. So someone else will take their phone, they will snap, and the whole thing is looking like, But when I snap, the lady will be like, wait, how did you see this? I said, I don't even know. The thing just kept coming. So
it's grace. I call it grace. But now let's talk about, because you mentioned something very important, which is the food. You're shooting the food, and how the food looks in minute 5 is different from how it will probably look if you are there for like 2 more hours.
Yes.
So because I'm guessing there's a little race against time. How do you handle that? How do you ensure that the food stays as fresh as when like it's and looks as good?
So that's the where the culinary experience comes in from. So if you've gone on a culinary school, or maybe you have an opportunity to meet someone who is a chef, and then you watch them do it. depend on what the food is like. So there's a way you keep it fresh. It's either you have there's a particular oil. I don't want to mention the product. They just put it on it, to keep it fresh or make it shining. Or they have a particular flame gas they use. They just spray it on it, to keep it fresh. Because if you don't do that, the food dries up in no time.
And then
it doesn't look fresh.
And it doesn't look fresh. All right. So tell us some of the lessons you've learned in running a business. What are some of the lessons that you've learned?
Okay. There are quite a lot of them, but first thing, like I mentioned the other time, discipline. You have to be very disciplined. Sometimes it goes beyond money. Having good reputation, people talking about you in a good way. Referral is the fast way to get any job done. If you like, post audio picture on Instagram. If people don't refer you, don't talk something good about you, you are still not learned a lot.
So how do you get that? How do you get that good name, that good reputation? What are the things that business people should have to get that good name?
So now I have a client.
Okay.
They want me to shoot, and they have a budget. And it doesn't suit me. Sometimes I don't want to go down. Sometimes I do the shoot for them. I tell them, when you don't like it, don't pay. But when you like it, this is the agreement. So I will give you my invoice, so you have it down. So it's not that maybe you don't have an idea of what it's going to cost you. So when I shoot, some of them will go to maybe someone will do an event photography, and you can't compare. The lighting are different. Someone who's going to shoot maybe a portrait might find it very difficult to understand the lighting for food. They are different lighting. I'm sure people who are photographers will understand.
Yes.
But lighting is actually one of the major parts of photography. So at the end of the day, they come back. Okay, you know what? We made a mistake. This. Can you help us to do this? Okay, you know what? I just I know how to accept people, no matter how difficult it is. So, and some clients are very hard on.
Yes, they are very hard.
Very. So most time,
stubborn.
I'm telling you. So most time, I try to like put myself in so many positions that you know what, Tola, if this is you, what will you do?
What will you do?
So once that comes in, I just say, you know what, let's keep going. I have a lot of clients. Even some will not even pay you for more than 6 months. And you
have submitted work.
I don't even waste time on it.
On to the next one.
I don't, because I have a lot I need to do.
So discipline, be accommodating to people. Consistency. Tell us about consistency.
Yeah, now that's how you see some people now. They are today photography, they are tomorrow product photography, they are next tomorrow portrait.
They want 53 streams of income.
Just like when we talk about it before today now, if someone call me and say, "Tola, but you're a photographer, come and shoot this thing," I'll say, "No, I don't do it.
It's only food.
And they will like, what's the difference? I said, there are a lot of difference. So, but yeah, I have friends. I will just say, okay, you know what, guy, I have someone who needs this. Just do it for them. But I won't take it. I won't.
Consistency. So know your lane, right?
Exactly.
Know your lane. Know what it is you're good at, and then also something he mentioned that really stuck out to me. It was as a photographer, right? You go in there, and he's working in the food space, so he's learning some culinary tips. That gives like a whole package to the product. So when what I'm saying in essence is that when you're going into business, it's very important for you to at least understand the field you're in. Tola here could have just taken his camera and said, you know what, I'm just food photography, bring the food out. I snap my picture, I arrange lighting, and I go back. But he decided to go into internship with a chef just to learn, okay, how does this work? How does plating work? I mean, you could hear some of the lingos he was using, right? So that is what being in that space does for you. So if you're out there and you want to go into some sort of business, learn about the industry. And like they've said, knowledge is never lost, right? Whatever you learn, nobody can collect it from you. All right. Before we go, how can people reach you on social media?
Food culture media.
Food Culture Media on Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you on Twitter?
Yes, same name.
Same name.
Culture
Food
Media.
Culture Media. Guys, go and check out Food Culture Media. But make sure you've eaten before you check out that page, because the food you will see there, one of my favorite pictures is the puff one.
Oh.
See, I think that has to be one of the most satisfying pictures in the world. One of the most satisfying pictures in the world. Food Culture Media. There's a picture there with puff. Just beautifully symmetrically arranged. How did you do that one before we go, please?
Oh, that's actually a street documentary. I was documenting food street.
Okay.
You know, there's this food that has for street
Yeah,
people.
street food.
So I just go out maybe on the weekend, and then I go to the rural environment, checking how all these roadside people cook their food. And I met a woman, she's doing pop-up very early in the morning. And I said, okay, you know what? Can you keep setting it? She said, brother, this thing will burn. I said, don't worry, I'll buy everything, even if it burns. So when I mentioned I will buy everything, and now